What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another Caesar Live, where we're going to learn more today about some fun stuff. I'm excited today. Sorry, I'm banging on heat presses and printers and the table, and I'm sorry.
You're destroying my ears, Patrick. It really hurts. My ears are bleeding over here.
And I apologize. Really but today is a really fun live because not only am I going to show you how to make something fun, just using a regular old pocket tee that you could get from anywhere, but we're also going to be showing a really, really cool newer addition. It's been there for a couple of months now, a few months now, but a newer addition to Leonardo Design Studio, and that's Leonardo Apprentice, with the caveat now that you can get more. So stick around to the end and we'll tell you all of that information. But to start us out, for anybody that's brand new watching over on YouTube or over on Facebook, hi, I'm Patrick with Caesar. We do lives regularly, and we try to show you fun pro tips, we try to show you fun projects, and hopefully we learn you a thing or two along the way. And you can go back to your friends and impress them. You know, it's like when the magician comes in when you're in like 5th grade. He's like, I'm going to give you a quick trick to show your friends what we're doing. But every single week. I'm a 5th grade magician right here every single week for you guys. So with that said, go around the room really quick. Make sure you guys let us know where you're chiming in from. Throw a bunch of hearts for the crew that's behind the scenes and the crew that's upstairs for us. But to start us out, you guys already know, hitting the 1s and the 2s, making this camera make me and the project and the overhead look as good as possible is none other than Trev. Say hi, Trev.
Hello?
Do you got him? Is your mic on?
Yeah, my mic's on.
All right, perfect. All right. And hanging out behind Trev is Jack and Adam, just chilling in the back, monitoring some comments. You guys just say hi from a, there we go.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go. And you guys know him. It's the Sultan of Syllables. It's the grammatical gatekeeper. The you shall not pass when I try to use Comic Sans in a report at work is none other than Adam. Say hi, Adam.
Hey, everyone.
Sorry, we had Adam Z and Adam S. And then it goes without saying, you know, or the maestro of the evening, the maestro of every single live is none other than...
I think I'm getting tired of this.
Whoa! All right. So, like the whole intro all together?
No, just
having
saying
to say hi, Anna every time?
Every time. I don't know. Do you guys like it? Do you not?
Listen, comment down below. Do you guys like the...
My ears don't like it. I'll say that.
You got to do it one time.
All right, Trev, I see how it is.
You guys like the hi, Anna?
I like it, but it hurts.
Do you guys like it or do you not? Do you want Anna to be completely silent behind the camera? Is that what you guys are asking for, really?
I think that's great. That's a great idea.
Listen, I'm not trying to influence anybody, but I did come from sales, so I will sell you on why Anna needs to talk behind the camera. Anyway, it's Anna. Say hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
All right, there we go. There's a monotone like, hi, Anna. All right. So with that said, let's get started into the live today. I got a lot to show you guys inside Leonardo Design Studio. If you're currently a Leonardo Design Studio Basic or Pro user, listen up. If you've never seen, heard, or used Leonardo Design Studio, listen even more up, okay? It's like you got regular ears and then you got those hound ears where it's like, oh my God, listen. Okay, so anyways, besides the point. Let's hop into Leonardo Design Studio right away. And I actually want to just go into the design library to start. Now, you guys know our graphic design team does an absolutely incredible job by pre-loading, pre-making a ton of designs. And they go as simple as basic shapes and basic artwork all the way into a little bit more advanced things you can use for print and cut, things that you can use to actually edit and make your own. However, we do know that sometimes finding the right artwork is a problem. And you might have a Creative Fabrica account. You might have Leonardo account, you might have an Adobe account where you can search, but what if you're still not finding exactly what you're looking for? Well, inside Leonardo Design Studio now is a fancy McSchmancy button called Leonardo Apprentice. And what Leonardo Apprentice is basically our AI model or engine to allow you to give basic or complicated prompts and spit out a piece of artwork. So actually, Trev and I and the group in here, we were all just admiring some of the prompts that I've been doing recently. Inside Leonardo Apprentice, we got the skeleton cats. We're ramping up, right? We said it's going to be a spooky one, so we're ramping up for Halloween. So I was playing around with the tool today. Trev, I know you got something to say about the fancy cats.
Well, I am quite a feline enjoyer, feline fan over here. I will say this is a deep and dark and twisted look inside Patrick's mind,
yes.
Right? And I think Leonardo Apprentice is a dangerous tool because it allows us to see what this man is thinking, and it puts it to paper.
That's
and
right.
you can even put it on a garment, so that's even scarier,
Yep.
right? If you want to advertise,
Like Frenchie Montana.
These deep and twisted
Everybody knows
thoughts.
Frenchie
Yeah,
Montana.
like like this bulldog here.
So yes, you will go in the deep, dark caves of my brain with Leonardo Apprentice, but I'm not showing you my Leonardo Apprentice history. You guys are going to help me out with this one. So we need spooky prompts. So everybody in the comments, give me spooky prompts. It doesn't matter. We'll keep it semi-elaborate just because you guys know that I spell really good and somebody's going to be reading me the prompt. So let's do either basic prompts, Halloween themed. I picked skeleton cat for around Halloween just for the funsies. But let's think Halloween themed, let's think spooky themed, and I think we can come up with something pretty good. So inside Leonardo Apprentice, one of the awesome parts about the tool, so I'm just going to bounce right back into the main page of Leonardo Apprentice, is not only do you have separated sections for vector and raster, but we also go one step further and kind of break down and give you some pro tips along the way. So we're going to focus on the raster images for today. And if we drop down the pro tip, it's going to give you all of the, listen, we know that there's funny ways to tell if something's AI, an extra finger somewhere, text isn't exactly perfect, maybe a symbol or two is off, or like this one, a bike with a basket, but it's a flower basket on the front. You never know what you're going to get, but that's the fun of giving a prompt into like an AI tool, or in this case, a Leonardo Apprentice, to see what that end result can look like, and it just stems from the ideas in our brains. Now, with that said, kind of jumping a little bit south of those pro tip section is the art style. So there are a ton of different art styles, not only for the raster images, but also for vector images of like how you can actually create the artwork. So this is something to keep in mind. It's something to play around with on your own time. And as you guys know, if you are a Leonardo Design Studio Basic user, you get 10 free tokens just for signing up for Leonardo Design Studio. So you get 10 free tokens. 1 token equals 1 prompt inside Leonardo Apprentice. You get 10 of those for free. And if you're a pro subscriber, you get a reoccurring 30 tokens every single month. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to dive in and try this tool out for yourself, test it and see what you can come up with or create. But also for a pro subscriber, you guys have a reoccurring. So if you burn out your 30, you got another 30 coming. But what if, Patrick, I know everybody's asking, what if I want more? What if I go through my 10 and I'm a basic user? I go through my 30 and I'm a pro user. Well, one of the cool upgrades of Leonardo Design Studio is you can now purchase tokens directly inside Leonardo. So I don't have to go to vector, don't have to go to raster. If I find myself out of tokens, I can just hit the token button, and now I can select from a set of tokens, whether 100, 250, or 1,000. And we can add maybe some different variables in there in different packages of how many tokens are. So we love your feedback as always on how to improve these. However, now you can purchase directly inside Leonardo Design Studio. Now, I will tell you, for anybody that is using this tool, I've said it many times where we talk about the pricing for them. Everything is listed right inside of Leonardo. If you are international using Leonardo Design Studio, remember the exchange rate, you'll have to, it'll do the conversion for you if you're converted to your language. But remember, there's a conversion rate. So I don't like throwing all the prices out there right away. So you can go in, you can select 1,000 tokens, you can go straight through the prompts to be able to pay for those. So anyway, Trev, what are you already laughing at me for?
No, nothing.
Are you my token talk?
I was just laughing at the messages. I think
Oh.
I think people are actually spooked by your cat.
Yeah, there we go. I like that. Yeah,
it's actually disturbing.
Well,
to them.
let's do that. Let's hop in. We're gonna do a raster image, and we're gonna use whatever prompt we kind of select in the room. Let's go through some of them in the comments, guys. See which ones are the best. Let's throw some prompts in. See what we want to use. Because as we do this, and you can see, I did a bunch of prompts earlier today of just finding the different variations of a skeleton cat, whether realistic or cartoonish. But all of these are saved. So at any time, I can go back to one of those. I can download that image right away, being that it's one that I've prompted and I want to go back to. So with that, let's go over to Facebook or YouTube first. Let's see what kind of prompts we got.
We got a couple of good ones here
Okay.
on YouTube. I saw a simple one, just witch with a cauldron.
Ooh, how do you spell cauldron?
C-A.
That's your job.
Sorry, yeah, it's your job, dude.
C-A-U.
C-A-U?
Yep.
See, that's why you don't want me to spell it. How else?
Cauldron.
There we go. See, the people know, the people know at home, man. This is not. All right, so what I'm going to do is we got a raster image. I'm just going to simply generate Witch with a Cauldron, and we'll see what pops up. So you'll notice inside Leonardo Apprentice, you'll have a loading screen as it's thinking, as it's building, as it's creating. It's obviously going to give you a quick loading screen. But once this is done processing, which the raster, I will say, out of the tests that I've done, the raster images seem like they move a little bit quicker, but I think it's because they're full photos, are mostly full images, as opposed to the vector is also trying to break those layers down for you. So you'll have a bunch of loading screens, like I said, that will come up, and eventually it will pop out or spit out that image, and we hope that we get a solid Witch with a Cauldron once we're done. While we're waiting on that, though, why don't we go back over the comments? What are some other prompts that people are doing? Maybe we'll have a couple backups, too.
Also on YouTube, I see a Victorian house with a graveyard in front.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so that's a good prompt that we can do. Okay, so Victorian house with a graveyard, Witch with a Cauldron. There might be a way that we might be able to add these two together, so we'll see. But while we're still waiting on that one to kind of spit out an image or think about what it wants to do, we're going to go ahead and start prepping our garment to be applied. Now, for this design, I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to fit it somewhere in like the pocket. I don't know if I want to do more of a hideaway pocket or I want to just do a flat pocket or cover this pocket flat so that it literally has one solid color of a really cool image on top of the black shirt. But we'll kind of get there when we get there. I will say, though, there's a couple different things that you need to do when it comes to pocket t-shirts. So I'm not going to be using a cutter for this one. I know it's crazy that I'm not using the Juliet or the Romeo, but I want to show you the power of being able to take an image out of a design software and being able to utilize it with just regular old plain Jane scissors, or you can always use, which, do I have mine over here? Anywhere? No. You can always use like a photo cutter as well to give you a straight cut if you're trying to just do basic square images itself. So let's see. Need some more artistic inspiration. It didn't actually give us a prompt with that. So let's do cartoon witch with a cauldron, and we'll see how that one prompts. Bingo. All right, we're going to prompt that one while we're still going through how to properly set up our artwork. So I can do one of two things. We can either physically measure, and in this case, we have a square pocket to this t-shirt. So I can physically just measure the pocket if I want to get the right diameter. Another thing that we can actually do is you can take a piece of parchment paper on over your design. Oh, that one's cool. I like that one. Actually, do we have a white pocket tee? Because I actually really like the way this one turned out.
We should ask Emily
It's
upstairs.
a perfect, yeah, see if Emily's got a white one up there and maybe she can run it down. So because this one's a square, it's really easy to just measure as like a basic shape. However, if I want to measure, you know, some pockets, they're more of a square with like a point to the end of them or the bottom of them. What I can always do is throw a piece of parchment paper over. I can feel for the seams, so the corner of the pockets on this pocket tee itself. And this might just give me a little bit better visual aid, because what I can do after the fact is I now have all the corners of my pocket and I can just start drawing in and filling in the lines. Now, why this helps me is that once I get to the actual artwork setup and we print out our image, I can now take this parchment paper, put it over my image, and I can just cut around my guideline to make it a little bit more simplistic. In this case, I actually really like this witch. I'm hoping that Emily has a white pocket tee up there. So we're going to keep this one down in our database. What was that other prompt? I know it was a little more elaborate, but.
The other one was a Victorian house with a graveyard in front.
Victorian house with a oh, look at that, guys. Adam, oh no. Good news is there's a brand new update inside Leonardo that also spell checks for you. Listen, I told you, sales. I can sell. There's also a prompt that'll teach you how to spell. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're going to do the Victorian house with a graveyard as well. I love this. This image is cool too. Okay. Now, the other portion of that in prepping this, we have to think about this. So if we're going to do a flat lay on the pocket, what we need to consider is we need to consider what's underneath the shirt. Because remember, guys, we have seams, and we talk about this all the time. When we have seams, a lot of time what ends up happening is maybe a prompt that will work on a dark shirt. No, I'm just kidding. This one is darker too, so it's fine. But maybe we can take this image. Maybe we'll throw the witch into this image. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we want to be able to utilize something like a pressing pillow, or if we have a thicker rubber pad on our heat press, it'll work as well. But it's really about just getting that pressing pillow underneath those seams so that when all of this applies together and it presses down, what it's going to do is these seams will actually create an impression in the pillow and be flat on the application. So it makes it a lot easier for us to be able to press where there is seams. Secondly to that, if this is going to be like a fold down pocket, so kind of like what I call a peekaboo pocket, where something's kind of tucked in there and you can pull it down to reveal it, we also have to take that in consideration when we're doing the application. So for something like that, we may make the decision to slide our image in, and then we're essentially going to use the pocket, just this portion of the pocket, more as like a cover sheet, as opposed to actually heat applying to anything, because we'll be heat applying to the backside of the shirt. So let's see what we can do with these couple. Give me one more prompt, Adam, just so we have another one and we have more options. And then we'll start actually working this artwork. Actually, I'm going to download the witch right now. Hold on. All right, so once you, and also too, just so you guys know, once you have your image and you like it, you'll just hit download, and that will download right to your regular desktop or your computer, your Mac, whatever. It'll just download to your hard drive, and it'll be in your downloaded section so you can retrieve it and import it into Leonardo Design Studio. So what's one more prompt, Adam?
One more we have from Lindsay is, what about a skeleton hand coming up out of the ground?
Coming up from the ground, should we do?
Yeah.
Because that's all dependent to the way that you prompt. Obviously, any AI tool is also determines your output. So whether it's a hand coming up from the ground or out of the ground may actually render two different results. So skeleton hand coming up from the ground. So let's go ahead and hit generate on there and see what we get. But for now, while we're waiting on that, we can start to like prep the other artwork. I'm hoping that the AI tool doesn't shut down and will still prompt while we're out. But that's why we're doing this, so you guys can see it, and then I know if we need to fix something. So I'm going to go over to my design board, remove my scary cat that everybody loves, and then I'm simply going to import and go to my downloads, and I can find my image. So there's the witch, right? So what I'm actually going to do with this one, and because I think it would be kind of cool, is I'm going to hand cut contour the witch out of this one. I like the background very much. Looks like this is her middle school, like school photo for like Witches University. However, with this type of background, I don't necessarily want that to end up on the shirt. So I'm just gonna simply hit next from print and cut. For me personally, guys, you can do just a background image only, and you can print from there. It's an extra button to click. So I just go print and cut, and I can show you how to remove it really quickly. So I'll just go next through all of the different screens to get it onto my home screen, and I can just deselect the print and cut job if I want. Now I can change my width to 8.5 by 11, and then I can start to scale this image. Now, like we talked about before, where I can draw out and measure the pocket, one cool tool inside of Leonardo Design Studio is I can actually go in and I can rebuild that pocket. So let's do it exactly the size of this pocket, even though I'm not using it. I just want to show you this little trick. And we're going to say that this pocket is roughly 4.75 by 4 inches, because I want to also leave a little strip on the top itself. Oh, okay. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock this actual shape that I have. And then now I'm going to do the width is 4.75. And then I'm going to do 4 for the height itself. So this right here is basically the working area of this pocket. Well, watch this trick. I can take this image. Oops, let me change the color really quick. Take this image. I can lay it over my design that I want, highlight both, and if I'm a Leonardo Design Studio Pro subscriber, I can hit intersect, and it will basically, that image will take on the shape for me. So now this image is set up to fit on this pocket tee. You know what? We're going to use the background too. I'm just going to use the background because I like it. I do like it. All right, so I'm just going to double check one more time. 4.75 by 4 inches. What that'll do, again, that'll leave kind of that top little seam or stitch that's on the pocket, so really just filling the pocket up. So now what I can do, because I don't want this, I'm just going to create this as a print then cut. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and use scissors for it. I'm gonna highlight my image and hit send design. Oop, maybe I should throw a cut line. Whoopsie daisies. All right, we gotta tell it that we wanna cut it. There we go. So I'm just gonna throw a cut line on there. And then I'm not gonna actually go to do the cutting step. However, I can if I want a more accurate cut around an image. Let's say we're not using a perfect, like a square, we're using more of an oblong or odd shaped image. And then I can simply hit send to printer. I wanna make sure that my printer itself is the right appropriate one. And then also another cool feature of Leonardo Design Studio that we've added in recently is now you can make copies of your prints. So if you wanna make multiple copies, it just makes it a little easier. So let's go ahead and hit send to printer. We're already loaded up. We got the right printer and everything, and we're starting to go. While that's printing out, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is start prepping this for application. So I'm gonna simply just thread my shirt onto the platen, and I'm not gonna put a pillow on it right now. I'm just simply getting the additional moisture out of the shirt and out of that pocket itself. And now, oops, I think, Trev, I think we might have used up the DTV yesterday, my man. So I got some more right here.
Oops.
Trev and I were shooting a video yesterday, and I think I used up all the DTV that was in the printer. I feel like we only printed out like 2 sheets though. But maybe that
Yeah,
wasn't a lot in there.
we only printed one, as far as I know.
Yeah, I think I did 1 test print, but maybe I just didn't check it. All right, cool. So we're reprinting because our image printed out of paper, but I can kind of check this size though to make sure that this will fit well. Which that'll fit good. And then I also too, Trev, really quick, if you can, just hop onto the heat press cam really fast. Sorry. One thing.
I was just about to fix.
Oh, are you fixing it right
But
now?
that's okay. It looks okay.
Okay, cool.
It's
cool.
just my
Oh.
brain.
That's all right. So now that I have this press, there's another reason why I press this out. A lot of times you guys already know that a garment has tendency to shrink. So the reason why I overcompensated instead of going a full 5-inch and doing 4.75 is I want there to be a small border to miss this seam of this pocket as well as that top seam too. So I'm just kind of sticking it right there. Excuse me. All right, so now what I can do, bring my image, and like I said, you can either use a straight cutter, don't yell at me because I'm not, I'm wasting some DTV, but I can use a straight cutter, I can just simply use a pair of scissors, and I can cut along this image. And then now what we can do is we can hand peel. So the cool thing is about Easy Color DTV, and the really cool thing is about utilizing any Caesar materials is, as you guys probably know, and if you don't know for anybody new, is that all of this stuff can be used with just a regular pair of scissors and a home iron if you want. You do not need to go all the way fancy McSchmancy and get yourself a heat press right away or get yourself a cutter right away. Obviously, you know, that is going to help you to elevate your business or, you know, your craft and just make all around, you know, being able to create cool concepts a reality. However, it's not necessary. As you can see, I'm just using a regular pair of home scissors on some Easy Color that I used a home desktop printer. So my all-in cost for the actual material itself is about $1.70 for the sheet if you're buying in bulk. This printer itself is probably a little over a couple $100. And these scissors, you guys already know, anywhere from like $10 to all the way down to $1 at the dollar store. You can get the really fancy ones for a little more expensive. But my entry-level cost to actually create this and to be able to mass produce this is still only, you know, somewhere in the ballpark of like $300.
We are getting some fantastic Halloween-themed prompts in
Yes.
the chat. I'm laughing because I love Halloween imagery.
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
makes me laugh. Jody Simonetti says, bats in belfry.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so let's
bats in
switch
the
it up.
belfry.
So let's switch it up.
Um,
You guys know about, really quick, you guys know about DTV already, right? You guys know about our cutters really already, right? Let's focus on the AI tool and let's just start throwing all the prompts in. I got a bunch of tokens to use. So let's just throw all your prompts in and have some fun for the rest of the live.
Stephanie, no context, simply says Raven Tombstone.
Ours, Stephanie?
Yeah. Raven period,
All right.
Tombstone.
I like.
What who knows what the setting is?
Yeah.
I mean, all we know is Raven Tombstone.
That's perfect. Maybe we'll have to create the setting for
Yeah.
it.
There was a couple that about skeletons too, either dancing or singing.
Okay. Nice. All right, we're going to prompt. Let me just apply this really quick so that we can say we took care of all the business stuff today. Let's have some fun after this, and we'll just throw some prompts through the tool. And then you guys can see. And if there's any prompts that you like, reach out to us afterwards. We'll see if maybe we can just download it and send it to you, to be honest with you.
Jennifer gave a good suggestion. She said, I'd love an option in the design library to add multiple designs at once, as opposing to finding one and adding it and having to go back and forth and search again.
Meaning, like, okay, so like in the design library, hold on, break that down for me.
Okay, so
I
in the
don't want my
design
brain to-
library,
okay.
if you find a design you like, being able to add them to your artboard without having to go back.
Yeah, being able to just like click, select. Tony, is Tony in
He's
the?
in, yep.
Tony.
Tony's in the comments.
That's a really good suggestion, actually, to be able to just, instead of like just harding it to save it for later, maybe there is like a collect button, some kind of button that'll then put it all on that design page, or maybe it's just an easy click to the design page, for sure. So we prepped our pocket tee really quick. I actually kept this because I think it looks kind of decent on the shirt with the background. So all I'm doing is throwing some parchment paper over it, or if you guys don't have access to parchment paper or a cover sheet, if you're using Easy Color DTV, a lot of times I actually just use the backing material for the application. So instead of parchment, I might throw that right back on there, and then we can go ahead and heat apply from there. So we'll just cover with some parchment paper. We're going to heat apply this at 305 to 310 degrees for right around 10 to 15 seconds. And with Easy Color DTV, if I'm doing one solid image and I don't have a bunch of pieces to it that have to be broken apart and all transfer mass at the same time, then what I'm able to do is I'm able to just kind of slap the image on the shirt, peel it from the material, and apply it all in one. So here we go. Look at that. Bingo, bango. Check that out. So now we have really cool little pocket tee. Now there was a reason why I didn't do like the top borders, because I want to embellish this now with like some black glitter or maybe some glow in the dark to really enhance like this whole pocket. And then I may throw some around the border of this and kind of frame it up. I actually think pocket tees sometimes look really cool if they look like those old style like photos. Just like a Polaroid photo looks kind of cool to me. So there's that one here. We'll throw it here so you guys can see. Quick little easy pocket tee that we made. Don't mind my little scorch mark. This is a good example of how a shirt, actually Trev, can you see this on camera? Like, can you see this? No, can you see this like dry area to this wet area on camera really well?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like this border?
I think
Okay.
so.
This is a good example. This is a good real world example of why we pre-press our garments. This side of the garment, as you can see, all the dark black is all moisture. So this is all additional dye. This is also moisture just in the shirt, moisture from sitting in a humid environment in a box. And then from this point, I think a lot of people will think that this is scorching. When it comes to cottons, polyesters, polycotton blends, this is not what scorching looks like. This right here is just now a dry portion, kind of like when you home iron your clothes. A lot of times you'll see that they'll get a little bit lighter. It's because you're drawing all of that moisture out of the shirt. So this is okay for this. This will go away. Actually, this will go away by itself just by sitting out and with time. However, this was a good example of why we pre-press, because applying onto a really moistened area, or even like it's never super wet to where it affects your application. However, this will show you why we pre-press a garment ahead of time. So, all right, we're done with that. Let's prompt. Let's have some fun with the tool. Actually, I'm going to pull up a chair really quick too. All right, so we have, what's the next prompt? Give me one. Let's have some fun.
Dancing skeletons.
Dancing
Singing. Actually, do singing. She did say singing.
Singing skeletons? Okay, I was going to say if it's dancing skeletons, it might pop up our video from a while ago.
They can do both. Skeletons can have more than one
Singing
talent.
and
in the arts.
dancing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's up
together.
to her.
There we go. All right, we're going to do that. And while that's prompted, I'm grabbing a chair really quick. Trev, I'm moving this camera because we don't need this one anymore. Oh, you're good. You're good. Just make sure I can pull this chair up without breaking the camera. And then without breaking that chair too. This chair is like the most shifty chair we have. So if you guys do see me fall at all during the live, maybe it adds a little humor. So let's see. I put singing and dancing skeletons, so we'll double check that. I did find with the raster earlier today, which I thought was super fun, is that if you create, like if you just put cartoon in front of everything, I feel like it enhances the image and it gives you a completely different result that looks really cool. Same with like the witches, like the witch with the cauldron, this one here, is doing that cartoon, gives me like straight up Disney. If Disney came out with a witches movie, like it's a Sanderson's movie. Why can I not remember? Hocus Pocus. They came out with like a Hocus Pocus cartoon, this would be one. I have a
Ooh,
feeling.
I would actually be curious to find out what happens if you put in Hocus Pocus Sanderson Sisters.
Do you want to throw in Sanderson
I'm
Sisters
curious.
next?
I'm very
You
curious.
get all right. Throw
That's
some
a
hearts.
super
Throw
popular
some hearts in the comments. We're gonna
piece of artwork.
do the opposite of what you should do and not try to get that kind of artwork prompted from AI. But why not? New. Can't be copyright if it's new. All right. So we're waiting for this one to generate. Let's go over to comments and questions. Anybody have any big questions while we were doing the application or while we're doing the Leonardo Apprentice?
There are a couple people that were chiming in saying that your technique making the pocket tee with the parchment to find out where to line it up was a cool technique.
Cool. Awesome. Do we actually, is there another pocket tee over there, Anna, that is like the more like triangular one?
Yeah, I thought.
Well, that's that when I grabbed this one, this is what Emily had earlier. But if there's one with that, I can show you because it's so much easier even. Yeah, if there's just one in like the cigar lounge, guys, if we can find one really quick. It's so much easier when you do it with the parchment paper and just find all the corners because then afterwards you can simply just, you know, like draw lines, straight lines. Okay, so downloaded what I already had. Singing and dancing skeletons. Generate. I'm going to do cartoon because, again, this seemed to work really well. And then also, too, just so you guys know, for file specifications, for what it's going to actually output or PNG file types, they must be downloaded and then can be imported back into Leonardo Design Studio. So much like you just saw, the vector images will allow you to just bring that image directly into the design tab. However, for the raster images, it will force you to have to import. This one actually turned out kind of cool. This actually looks like a pattern. And it looks like...
What are those little skeletons with the spindly limbs? I like that one in the. I
this
like that
here?
one.
This little guy right
Yeah.
here? Let's see. Let's download it. And we'll bring it back in, and we'll see. Or, where's the cartoon skeletons? Let's just open up this file. And we'll
Oh
blow it.
yeah,
Look at that guy.
I'm liking that.
It'd be a lot of fun to come up with
That's
a
me as a
couple
skeleton.
of these prompts as
Yeah.
a patterns and then just tile them across.
Ooh. I wonder, can we make a Halloween pattern? Do we got, okay, what are some prompts that I can throw in? Like, does anybody got any cool prompt that I can add the word pattern to? Is there any out there that you guys see? Wow. I mean,
Lisa is running down here with a blue pocket.
I appreciate you. Oh, is that, okay, no, it's not her. All right, so Lisa will be down here in 1 second to run us down a t-shirt. So let's go, yeah, find me another prompt, and let's purposely put in pattern to see if it'll actually pop up a pattern for us. What do we got?
Jennifer said spooky pumpkin tree.
Spooky tree pattern. And I'm pretty sure I spelled spooky wrong. See, guys? Spiky, that's 2 O's. That one even I knew. All right, spooky pumpkin tree pattern. Yeah, I'm going to do it in a pattern because I want to see what it looks like. Maybe you guys, honestly, so we talked about in one of the videos that will be coming out here in the near future is going to be 5 unique ways to use DTV. And I'm going to give you a hint that one of those are actually creating a pattern and using DTV as a pattern. Here we go. For all my pattern makers, you're losing a little inspiration, hop in, find a prompt for a pattern, and then start working from there. You know what I mean? Enhance it from there. Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. Yeah, that works. Either one. And then what is that one? That one's a fancy schmanz. Oh, here we go. Perfect. No, this is exactly the one that I needed. All right, so parchment trick on a odd-shaped pocket.
Wow.
So as you guys see, which one is that? Oh, that one is, that's kind of a cool one, though. Like the little bleached shirt you got, Adam? Yeah. All right, so we got this one, and you guys can already see, too, that it's a little crooked, right? So what first thing that I would probably do for something like this, because it's probably sewn crooked, potentially, is I would press this first. And what this will allow it to do is this will allow that pocket just to flatten out a little bit and will give us a way better end result. So we just grab a regular piece of parchment paper. Honestly, it really only needs to be a little bit bigger than the actual pocket itself on the t-shirt because we're really just marking all the corners, okay? But on the overhead here, you can see when I lay this shirt out, even with the odd shape, I can put my parchment paper over it. And in some cases, for certain colors, you can probably see the image. Like for me, to the eye, I can see where all of the edges are to this actual pocket. Sorry, not a design, but the pocket. However, if you can't see it, that's where the field test comes in, right? It's just feeling for all the corners, and I just mark where the actual physical corners of the pocket are. mark where the point is, right about there. Mark that corner over there, and then the top corner right there. So now I've just made my pocket, and then the only thing, like I said, that we have to do from there is grab a ruler, make our lives a little easier, and you're really actually going to see what this pocket looks like a little bit more. And you'll have some bleed, right? Because if you're not using a Sharpie, I'm using a regular dry erase marker, so it's going to bleed a little bit. So don't mind it, but we can draw the straight line there. And then we can draw a straight line to that point, and all we're doing is we're just working from point to point on the shirt, and then there we go. And this one is a little harsher angle just because it's a little crooked. But you can see a side by side now. This is a lot shorter angle than this one is, but it just makes it easier to get a rough idea of what that pocket looks like. Because there's also some that are more prominent than this that look a little bit more structured like that, as opposed to, you know, the odd sewed one that we have. No big deal. So, all right, let's go in. We got one pattern. Oh, this one turned out pretty cool. What Jennifer is that? Is that Sanderson? Okay, gotcha. I was literally just about to prompt Sanderson sisters, so I was wondering. All right, so we have that one that we're downloading as well. So here's the cool part about the tool as well. As you guys see, we've done a bunch of prompts, and everything saves kind of at the bottom for us. So I can go back and I can find an old one that I've prompted, and maybe I like the way this looks, but I want the witch or the cat to be given a thumbs up kind of close to the door somewhere. I can bring in multiple. The only caveat that you have to think about with Leonardo Apprentice is make sure that you click and you download and then you import the image. So it won't download the image on the raster side. It won't download that image as a Leonardo Design Studio file to just open. It's going to have to be imported after. But the cool thing is, again, if you are a Leo Basic user or you're a Leonardo Pro user, maybe you don't necessarily use Leonardo all the time for your designing and your cutting, but you like using Leonardo from time to time to learn. Here's another awesome way and reason to hop in and try Leonardo Design Studio. See what you can prompt within the AI tool itself, or Leonardo Apprentice. And like I said, if you guys run out of tokens, you now officially can buy more tokens. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few other projects with this. Maybe what we'll do is we'll do a cool pattern, and maybe we'll throw some of these prompts up as files in the group if you guys want them. So if you're not already a member of the Caesar North America support group, join the Caesar North America support group, because let's do, Anna, will you send me a message just for tomorrow at like 11 in the morning, or no, 10 in the morning, to put all of these into the group? Yeah, so tomorrow. So we're going to give you guys a full 24 hours to join the group. Any newcomers into the group and any current group users, I'm going to drop some of these PNG files that were prompted today. You guys feel free to use them. I love this cartoon witch. I think the dancing and singing skeletons are awesome as a pattern, and then the pumpkin tree is a really, really cool one as well. So we're going to give these to you. Let's see what you guys come up with them and see what kind of fun stuff that you can generate in the brand new Leonardo Apprentice. And again, like I said, really quick recap. Brand new users get 10. Reoccurring pro users get 30 every single month. You now can buy tokens just with the click of a button on the Leonardo Apprentice page. So everything is set there right for you. It's one other reason to utilize Leonardo for your designing and for your business or for your own craft as well. So do we got anything else? Are there any big questions? Anybody asking away? Do we have any comments that we need to address? Anything? Cool. We haven't been, I'm going to say the word, so we will now. We haven't been spammed in a while, so that's a good thing. Thank you, and shout out to everybody that keeps an eye out for us. We get a lot of messages when somebody is trying to tell you guys your winners and get all your info. So thank you guys that kind of have your eyes on the ground for us, as it helps the community out. And that's one other reason why you join the support group, is you get that information immediately. But as you know, we're also on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. Hi, everybody on YouTube. We're also over on TikTok. We're over on Instagram. You can find us anywhere you can find Caesar products. And if you're struggling to simply find Caesar products and you're like, I gotta have this product, I gotta have this DTV or this Easy Weed or this Eco Stretch or this, I can't say it just yet, I got a couple more weeks, a brand new product coming out at the end of this month that I'm super excited about, you can always reach out to us at info@caesarna.com. And if you're having any problems with the Romeo, the Juliet, Leonardo, or any products, you can always send us an email to support@caesarna.com. But I think that's it. I think we covered everything in Leonardo Apprentice. We did a really fun little pocket t-shirt that I know somebody's probably going to steal upstairs because it is a cutesy balootsy one. And other than that, guys, happy crafting. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.